Act as if it's already yours by Earl Nightingale. Lesson 1. Become what you think. The greatest secret to success in life is so simple that most people overlook it entirely. And yet this secret has transformed the lives of countless people who discovered its power. What is this strangest secret? Simply this: we become what we think about most of the time. Think of your mind as a garden and your thoughts as seeds. Whatever seeds you plant, positive or negative, will eventually grow into your reality. This isn't some mystical concept, but a practical truth that has shaped human achievement throughout history. The successful person plants seeds of possibility, opportunity, and achievement. They see in their mind what they wish to become long before it materializes. The unsuccessful person, however, plants seeds of doubt, limitation, and fear. They focus on what might go wrong rather than what could go right. Why do so many people fall short of their potential? They think about what they fear instead of what they want. They worry about bills rather than visualizing abundance. They dwell on problems rather than solutions. And just as surely as autumn follows summer, their lives reflect these predominant thoughts. Your mind doesn't judge what you feed it. It simply accepts and works to create whatever pictures you present to it most frequently. This is why having a clear picture of what you want is essential. Vague wishes produce vague results. Specific visions create specific outcomes. Consider the great achievements throughout history. The Wright brothers thought about flight until they created it. Thomas Edison thought about the light bulb until the darkness gave way. Every invention, business, or personal triumph began as a persistent thought in someone's mind. You may wonder how to harness this power in your own life. Start by becoming aware of your current thought patterns. Most people would be shocked to discover how negative their inner dialogue truly is. They've developed the habit of expecting less rather than more from life. To change your future, you must first change your thoughts. Begin to think about what you want as if it were already yours. See yourself enjoying the success, health, relationships, or abundance you desire. Feel the emotions associated with having achieved your goals. This isn't daydreaming or wishful thinking. This is programming your mind for achievement. Just as a farmer prepares the soil before planting, you're preparing your mind to receive and nurture the seeds of success. Remember this: your mind is always working, always moving you towards something. The question is, what is that something? Is it what you truly want, or is it what you fear? Starting today, guard your thoughts carefully. When negative thoughts appear, replace them immediately with positive ones. Focus on solutions rather than problems. Visualize success rather than failure. Think about what you want rather than what you don't want. The strangest secret is also the simplest. We become what we think about most of the time. Plant the right seeds in your mental garden, tend them with care, and watch as your life begins to transform in ways you might once have thought impossible. Lesson 2. The magic of believing. Have you ever wondered why some people achieve remarkable success while others with similar talents and opportunities struggle their entire lives? The difference, my friend, is not found in intelligence, education, or even luck. The true difference lies in something far more powerful: belief. Belief is the magic that transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary. When you truly believe something is possible, your magnificent mind begins working day and night, consciously and subconsciously, to make that belief a reality. It's as if the universe itself conspires to help you. Think about the 4-minute mile. For thousands of years, experts declared it physically impossible for humans to run a mile in less than 4 minutes. Then, in 1954, Roger Bannister did the impossible. Within just 46 days, another runner broke that barrier. Within a year, 3 more runners did the same. What changed? Not human physiology, only human belief. Doubt is the great destroyer of dreams. It creeps into your mind like a thief in the night, stealing your possibilities before they have a chance to take root. Every time you say, "I can't," or "that's impossible for someone like me," you're reinforcing limitation rather than potential. The moment you replace doubt with belief, everything changes. What others think is impossible has absolutely no bearing on what you can accomplish. History is filled with achievements that experts once declared utterly impossible. Flight, space travel, instant global communication, the 4-minute mile. Each was achieved not by the doubters, but by those who believed. Your belief system operates like a thermostat. If you believe you're worth $50,000 a year, you'll find ways to earn approximately that amount. If circumstances temporarily push you above that figure, you'll find ways to return to your setting. But change your belief to $100,000, $500,000, or beyond, and your actions will automatically adjust to match your new belief. This is why you must act as if your goal is already yours. When you do this, you're not playing pretend. You're actually programming your subconscious mind with new instructions. Your subconscious doesn't distinguish between what's real and what's vividly imagined. It simply works to make your dominant thoughts into reality. For the next 3 days, I challenge you to take on the act as if challenge. Select one important goal and act as if you've already achieved it. How would that successful version of you walk? How would they talk? What decisions would they make? What would they never do? Embody that person completely. At first, this might feel uncomfortable, even foolish. That's to be expected. But persist through this discomfort because something remarkable happens when you consistently act as if your mind begins to accept this new reality as normal. Your belief system adjusts. And when belief changes, achievement follows as naturally as night follows day. Remember, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Your belief system determines what you can accomplish. Change your beliefs, and you change your life. Lesson 3. The Acres of Diamonds. Imagine for a moment, my friend, that you've been searching far and wide for something precious. A diamond, perhaps, only to discover later that it was in your own backyard all along. This is no mere fantasy. It's the essence of one of life's most profound truths. The story of Ali Hafid, a content farmer who abandoned his fertile fields to search the world for diamonds, only to have the largest diamond mine in the world discovered on the very property he sold, teaches us a lesson we must never forget. While Ali died penniless in a foreign land, the man who purchased his farm discovered, quite by accident, the acres of diamonds that had been there all along. How many of us are like Ali Heft, looking elsewhere for opportunity when it surrounds us right where we stand? The truth is, most people searching for greener pastures fail to notice the richness of the soil beneath their feet. They're convinced that success must be found somewhere else, in another city, another job, another relationship. But I tell you this with absolute certainty. Opportunity is not something you chase across distant horizons. It's something you uncover through awareness, right where you are. Consider your current situation. The job that frustrates you contains lessons and connections that could lead to your greatest achievement. The neighborhood you live in holds needs waiting to be filled by someone with your unique talents. The problems that plague you daily are actually invitations to create solutions that others would gladly pay for. Remember this fundamental principle. The grass isn't greener on the other side of the fence. The grass is greener where it's watered, nurtured, and cared for. Your current circumstances, whatever they may be, contain hidden gems of opportunity that others would envy if only they understood their value. Think about this. McDonald's wasn't created by someone who invented a new food. It was created by someone who found a better way to serve the same hamburgers everyone else was making. Walmart didn't succeed by selling products no one had seen before. It flourished by improving the distribution of everyday items people already needed. This very moment, you possess knowledge, relationships, and insights that are valuable precisely because they're unique to your experience, your familiarity with your job, your community, your problems. These aren't limitations. They're your acres of diamonds. The person who succeeds isn't the one constantly searching for new ground, but the one who develops the vision to see the opportunities that already surround them. Act as if the opportunity you seek is already yours, because in truth it is. It's waiting to be recognized, developed, and brought to life through your awareness and action. Tonight before you sleep, Look around at your life. What resources, connections, or knowledge do you possess that others might value? What problems do you understand better than most? Within these questions lie your acres of diamonds, waiting to be discovered by the one person who can truly recognize their worth, you. Lesson 4. The Worthwhile Purpose. I want to tell you about something that can completely transform your life. It's the power of having a worthwhile purpose, a clear, specific goal that excites you to the very core of your being. Have you ever watched an archer practice? They focus intently on the target, draw back their bow with precision and release. Without that target, all their skill and effort would be meaningless. Their arrows would simply fly into empty space. This is exactly what happens to people who drift through life without a definite purpose. Without a target, you'll hit nothing consistently. That's why so many talented men and women never reach their potential. They have the ability, but they lack direction. They have the energy, but it's scattered in 100 different directions. Your goal must be meaningful enough to pull you through tough times. Small, trivial objectives won't sustain your motivation when obstacles appear. Think about climbing a mountain. When the path gets steep and your muscles ache, what keeps you going? It's the vision of standing at the summit, looking out over the magnificent view that few will ever experience. Did you know that writing your goal down increases your chance of achieving it by 95? There's something almost magical that happens when you transfer your thoughts to paper. It's as if you're making a contract with yourself, a declaration to the universe about what you intend to create. I once met a young man who complained that life was passing him by. "I don't know what's wrong," he said. "I work hard, but I never seem to get anywhere." When I asked him what he wanted to achieve, he gave vague answers about being successful and making good money. No wonder he felt lost. Without a specific destination, no road will ever take you there. Your mind works like the most sophisticated guidance system ever created. But even the best guidance system needs coordinates. When you give your mind a clear, specific objective, it begins working day and night to move you toward it. Your conscious and subconscious minds align, helping you spot opportunities you might otherwise miss. Remember this truth. People who succeed in any field are those who know exactly what they want and burn with desire to achieve it. They don't hope for success or wish for it. They pursue it with unwavering determination because their goal matters deeply to them. Tonight, I challenge you to sit down with a blank sheet of paper. Write your biggest goal at the top. Make it specific and measurable. Then keep asking yourself, why do I want this so badly? Write down each answer until you find the emotional core that will drive you forward, even when the path becomes difficult. This exercise might take just 30 minutes of your evening, but it could change the entire direction of your life. A worthwhile purpose isn't just something you think about. It becomes the central organizing principle of your existence. When you have one, you'll wake up each morning with energy and direction, knowing exactly where you're headed and why it matters. Act as if this purpose is already yours and watch as the universe begins to respond. Lesson 5. The 30-Day Test. A small rudder can change the direction of a mighty ship. In the same way, small daily habits can completely transform the direction of your life. For years, I've observed a simple truth that many people overlook. What you do consistently determines who you become inevitably. Success isn't built on occasional bursts of perfect effort. Success is the natural result of putting in consistent effort day after day, regardless of how you feel or what obstacles appear in your path. The challenge most people face isn't knowing what to do. It's doing what they know, consistently enough to see results. This is why I developed what I call the 30-Day Test. It's based on the discovery that our minds and bodies require approximately 1 month of daily practice to cement a new habit or way of thinking. During this critical period, you're literally rewiring your brain, creating new neural pathways that, once established, will serve you for life. Think of it this way. When you first learn to drive a car, you must consciously think about every action. Turning the key, pressing the pedals, checking mirrors. But after sufficient practice, these actions become automatic. You can drive while carrying on a conversation or thinking about your day. This is the power of habit formation. and it applies to every area of your life. The most successful people I've known have mastered the art of habit creation. They understand that excellence isn't about grand, heroic gestures. It's about small, consistent actions performed daily with unwavering commitment. Imagine you wish to become an author. Writing for 8 hours on a single Saturday won't make you a writer. But writing for just 30 minutes every morning for 30 days will begin to establish your identity as a writer. The same principle applies to saving money, building relationships, improving your health, or any worthy goal. The beautiful truth is that small efforts compound dramatically over time. A single penny that doubles each day is worth over $10 million by day 30. Your habits work the same way. What seems insignificant in the moment becomes transformative when practiced consistently. Here's the powerful secret. Once you pass the 30-day mark, maintaining the habit actually becomes easier than quitting it. The new behavior becomes part of your identity, who you are rather than merely something you do. I challenge you to select one success habit today. Perhaps it's reading for 20 minutes, walking for 30 minutes, writing in a gratitude journal, or making 3 sales calls. Choose something small enough that you can do it daily without fail, but significant enough that it will move you toward your greatest goals. Then commit to practicing this habit at exactly the same time each day for 30 straight days. Mark your calendar and don't break the chain. At first, you'll need willpower, but soon the habit will exert its own pull. You'll feel uncomfortable if you don't do it. Remember, we first make our habits, and then our habits make us. Choose wisely what you practice daily, for it will surely determine what you become permanently. Lesson 6. The law of cause and effect. The world we live in operates by certain unchangeable laws. One of the most powerful of these is the law of cause and effect. This law states that for every result in your life, there was a specific cause that created it. Nothing happens by accident or chance. Your current situation, whether wonderful or challenging, is the direct result of actions you've taken and thoughts you've held. Success isn't some mysterious force that randomly selects certain lucky individuals. Success is as predictable as the sunrise when you understand that specific causes create specific effects. The wealthy businessman didn't stumble into his fortune. He planted specific seeds of action that grew into the harvest he now enjoys. Look around at your life today. Your health, your bank account, your relationships, your achievements, they all exist because of choices you've made and actions you've taken. If you're not satisfied with any area, you must change the causes that created it. Most people make the mistake of focusing on effects. They complain about being overweight, but continue eating poorly. They wish for more money, but don't improve their skills or work habits. They hope for better relationships, but don't become better communicators or listeners. The secret to changing your life is to shift your focus entirely to causes. If you want better health, you must cause it through proper nutrition and consistent exercise. If you want more income, you must cause it by delivering more value or reaching more people. If you want stronger relationships, you must cause them through greater understanding and care for others. I remember speaking with a young man who complained that opportunity never seemed to find him. When I asked about his daily routine, I discovered he spent evenings watching television rather than reading or learning new skills. He was waiting for effects without creating causes. Once he began dedicating his evenings to self-improvement and relationship building, his world transformed within months. Here's a powerful truth. You can predict your future by examining your present habits. The actions you take consistently today are creating your tomorrow. If you read books about success and apply their wisdom daily, you're causing a future of growth and achievement. If you regularly save and invest money, you're causing a future of financial security. The beautiful thing about this law is that it works with complete impartiality. It doesn't care about your background, your past failures, or your current circumstances. The moment you begin implementing the causes of success, you set in motion the effects that must follow, as certainly as night follows day. Today, I encourage you to become a cause-focused person. Stop wishing for different effects and start creating different causes. Find someone who has already achieved what you desire. Study them carefully. What specific actions do they take that you don't? What habits have they formed that you haven't? What knowledge have they acquired that you lack? Then begin immediately to adopt these causes in your own life. Remember, what you do today determines what you'll have tomorrow. The law of cause and effect is waiting to work in your favor. The moment you decide to use it. Lesson 7. The hour that changes everything. What you do with your spare time isn't just a small decision. It's the decision that shapes your entire future. Most people squander this precious resource, but the successful ones, those rare people who rise above the crowd, they treat their spare time like the treasure it truly is. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to accomplish so much more than others? The answer is surprisingly simple. They've discovered what I call the golden hour, that magical slice of time they set aside each day to work on themselves rather than for someone else. Consider this. If you devoted just 1 hour each day to focused, deliberate learning in your chosen field, what would happen? In a single year, you would have invested 365 hours in your personal growth. That's more than 9 40-hour work weeks dedicated to making yourself more valuable. The average American watches television for 4 hours daily. Imagine taking just one of those hours and using it differently. This single change would put you on a completely different trajectory in life. While others are passively consuming entertainment, you could be actively creating your future. This hour doesn't require superhuman effort. It simply requires a decision to invest in yourself. You might read books by experts in your field, listen to educational audio programs during your commute, practice a marketable skill, or work on that side business you've been dreaming about. All great achievements begin with small, consistent efforts. The novelist who writes for an hour each morning eventually completes a book. The investor who studies companies for an hour each night eventually builds wealth. The parent who gives undivided attention to their child for an hour each day builds an unbreakable bond. Your mind is like a garden. What you plant there will grow. During your golden hour, you're planting seeds of growth, prosperity, and wisdom instead of weeds of distraction and complacency. The beautiful truth is that everyone, yes, everyone, has this hour available. No matter how busy you think you are, you can find 60 minutes to devote to your development. It might mean waking up earlier, using your lunch break differently, or turning off the television after dinner. The time is there if you're willing to claim it. Act as if you already own the future you desire by protecting this golden hour fiercely. Guard it from interruptions. Make it non-negotiable. Treat it with the same seriousness you would a meeting with the most important person in your field. Because, in truth, you are meeting with someone vital to your success, yourself. Starting today, find your hour. Carve it out of your schedule as if your future depends on it. Because it does. In this single hour, you will find the leverage to move your entire life in a new direction. This is the hour that changes everything. Use it wisely and watch as your life transforms before your eyes. Lesson 8. The mirror of self-image. The person you see when you look in the mirror each morning is the most important factor in determining what you'll achieve today. That image, the one you hold of yourself in your mind, is more powerful than all the forces of nature combined. I've discovered through years of observation that men and women are literally trapped or freed by how they see themselves. Your self-image wasn't something you were born with. It developed over time, built by the experiences you've had, the words spoken to you, and most importantly, the thoughts you've repeatedly entertained about yourself. The wonderful news is that this image can be changed at will, and when you change it, your life changes with it. Consider the shy person who believes they just aren't good with people. As long as they maintain this picture, they'll act accordingly, avoiding social situations, speaking softly, and missing opportunities. But what happens when they decide to see themselves differently? What happens when they begin to picture themselves as confident and articulate? A miracle occurs. Their actions begin to align with this new mental picture. This is why I tell my listeners, act as if you already are what you wish to become. The mind cannot tell the difference between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. When you act as if you're already the success you wish to be, Your subconscious begins accepting this as reality. A man once told me he wanted to become wealthy, but could never imagine himself having money. I asked him to start small, to carry $100 bill in his pocket for a month without spending it. Just the feeling of knowing it was there began changing how he thought about himself. Within a year, his income had doubled as new opportunities seemed to appear from nowhere. They had always been there. But now he could see them because his self-image allowed for success. Your self-image sets the boundaries of your accomplishments. Like a thermostat in your home that maintains a set temperature, your mental thermostat keeps your life within the range you believe possible for yourself. Want to accomplish more? Adjust your thermostat? Start by watching your language. When you say, "I can't" or "that's not me," you're reinforcing limitations. Replace these phrases with "I am learning to" or "I'm becoming," the kind of person who your brain listens to everything you say. Then spend 5 minutes each morning visualizing yourself as having already achieved your goal. Feel the emotions of that achievement. What does it look like, sound like, feel like? Make this mental movie as vivid as possible. Finally, find photographs of people who represent what you want to become. A businessman might keep pictures of successful entrepreneurs. An aspiring author might display portraits of great writers. These visual reminders seep into your subconscious and reshape your self-image. Remember, the outside world will always organize itself to reflect what you hold to be true about yourself on the inside. Change the mirror of your self-image, and you'll change everything that reflects back to you from life itself. Lesson 9. The Mirror of Tomorrow. Have you ever noticed how the world responds to a person who radiates absolute certainty? There's something magnetic about those people who move through life with unwavering confidence, as if the success they seek is already theirs. This isn't arrogance, my friend. This is the power of acting as if... Throughout my years of studying successful men and women across every field of endeavor, I've discovered a common thread woven through their stories. They didn't wait until success arrived to behave like successful people. No, they reversed the equation. They began thinking, speaking, and acting like the person they intended to become long before external evidence supported that identity. Consider this. The way you carry yourself physically changes the chemistry in your brain. When you stand tall, speak with conviction, and move with purpose, even when you don't feel confident, your mind begins to align with that behavior. The remarkable truth is that your mind cannot tell the difference between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. It responds to what you tell it through your thoughts, words, and actions. Let me share something profound with you. Your subconscious mind is like the soil in a garden. It doesn't judge what seeds you plant. It simply grows whatever you put into it. When you act as if your dreams are already reality, you're planting powerful seeds of success. This isn't wishful thinking or self-deception. Acting as if means assuming the mental and emotional state of having already achieved your goal. It means making decisions today based on who you're becoming, not who you've been. If you were already running that successful business, how would you organize your day? If you were already financially abundant, how would you approach opportunities? If you were already in perfect health, what choices would you make at each meal? The world responds to the person you project. People are drawn to certainty. Opportunities flow toward those who seem prepared for them. Resources find their way to those who appear ready to use them wisely. This isn't mystical. It's practical psychology. People want to associate with success, and when you embody it in advance, you become a magnet for the very things you seek. Here's a simple but powerful exercise. Select one goal that matters deeply to you. For the next 7 days, begin each morning by writing in detail about your life as if this goal has already been achieved. Use present tense. Feel the emotions, see the details. Then, throughout your day, make each decision through the lens of this accomplished version of yourself. You'll discover something remarkable happening. Your actions will naturally align with your vision. Your choices will reflect your new identity. And most importantly, you'll begin noticing opportunities that were always there but remained invisible to your previous mindset. Remember, friends, the future you desire doesn't arrive randomly. It's constructed daily through the thoughts you nurture, the words you speak, and the actions you take. When you act as if it's already yours, you build an irresistible bridge between your present reality and your desired tomorrow. Lesson 10. The Champion's Mindset. Children, when I was a young man, I observed something fascinating about truly successful people. They carried themselves differently. They spoke differently. They made decisions differently. What was their secret? They possessed what I call the champion's mindset. Think of it this way. Have you ever watched an Olympic champion on the victory stand? Long before the gold medal hung around their neck, they saw themselves standing there. They felt the weight of that medal. They heard their national anthem. They lived it in their minds first. This is the essence of acting as if it's already yours. Champions don't hope for success. They expect it. They don't try to win. They prepare to win. They prepare to win. They prepare to win. There's a world of difference between these approaches. Consider two salespeople approaching the same potential client. The first thinks, I hope I can make this sale. The second thinks, I'm going to serve this person so well, they'll be grateful we met. Which one do you think succeeds more often? Your mind cannot tell the difference between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. When you act as if your goal is already achieved, your subconscious mind begins to rearrange your actions, your habits, and even your personality to match this new reality. If you want to be wealthy, start making decisions as a wealthy person would. Would a wealthy person buy on impulse or invest strategically? If you want to be healthy, make food choices as a healthy person would. Would a healthy person choose convenience or nourishment? This isn't pretending or being fake. It's aligning yourself with the person you're becoming. It's stepping into your future self today. I once met a young man who wanted to be a successful author. When I asked what he was doing about it, he said he was waiting until he had more time. I asked him, what would a successful author do with the time you have right now? The light bulb went on. He began rising an hour earlier each day to write. Within 18 months, his first book was published. Remember this. The outer world eventually mirrors your inner world. When you change how you see yourself, others begin seeing you differently, too. Opportunities appear that weren't visible before. Start with your posture. Stand tall, shoulders back, head held high. Speak with conviction. Make decisions promptly. Take responsibility quickly. These aren't just actions of successful people. They're the transformative practices that create success. Tonight, before you sleep, see yourself having already achieved your most important goal. Feel the emotions. Hear the emotions. Hear the congratulations. Tomorrow morning, carry that feeling with you. Speak, move, and decide as that accomplished version of yourself. The gap between where you are and where you want to be is bridged by acting as if you're already there. Champions don't wait until victory to feel victorious. They feel victorious. They feel victorious first, and then victory becomes inevitable. The champion's mindset isn't just about thinking differently. It's about becoming different through deliberate practice until what once seemed an act becomes your natural way of being. Lesson 11. The harvest of your actions. Today, I want to talk to you about a profound truth that has changed countless lives throughout history. What you do today is creating your tomorrow. Most of us understand this idea intellectually, but few of us truly live as if we believe it. Imagine planting a garden. You carefully prepare the soil, select the finest seeds, water them daily, and protect your young plants from weeds and pests. Would you then be surprised when those seeds grow into exactly what you planted? Of course not. The harvest always follows the planting. This is one of nature's most reliable laws. Your life works precisely the same way. The actions you take today are seeds you're planting in the garden of your future. Are you planting seeds of discipline, focus, and positive expectation? Or are you planting seeds of procrastination, worry, and doubt? I've observed an interesting pattern among successful people. They act as if their success is already guaranteed. They don't wonder if their efforts will pay off. They know with absolute certainty that they will. This isn't blind faith or foolish optimism. It's an understanding of how life's harvest works. A young attorney I once mentored struggled with confidence when facing more experienced lawyers. I gave her this advice. Act as if you've already won 100 cases. Walk into that courtroom as if the verdict is already decided in your favor. Within months, her results transformed completely. Nothing about her knowledge had changed, only her expectations and behaviors. Remember, acting as if doesn't mean pretending or being inauthentic. It means aligning your current actions with your desired future. If you want to be healthy, act as healthy people act. If you want financial abundance, handle money the way wealthy people do. If you want a loving relationship, treat others the way someone capable of great love would treat them. Your subconscious mind cannot tell the difference between what's vividly imagined and what's real. When you consistently act as if your goals are already achieved, your mind begins accepting this new reality and works tirelessly to make it your actual experience. Most people wait to feel successful before they act successfully. This is backward thinking. Your feelings follow your actions, not the other way around. Act first in accordance with your goals, and the feelings will naturally follow. This principle applies to every area of life. Want more respect? Act as if you're already worthy of respect. Want more confidence? Stand, speak, and move as a confident person would. Want more peace? Respond to today's challenges the way a peaceful person would respond. The universe rewards action, not intention. Good intentions without corresponding action are like seeds kept in a packet instead of planted in the ground. They contain potential, but will never produce a harvest. Today, identify one area where you've been waiting to feel ready before taking action. Then, take one deliberate action, as if you were already the person you aspire to be. Do this consistently, and watch how your harvest begins to change. Remember, you don't have to see the entire path to take the first step. You just need to act as if it's already yours. Lesson 12, the final step. Living as if success belongs to those who claim it before it arrives. After 11 chapters of learning and growing, we've reached the culmination of our journey together. This final chapter isn't merely a conclusion. It's the beginning of your new life. I've observed something remarkable about successful people throughout my years of study. They possess an unusual ability to live in two worlds simultaneously, the present reality and their envisioned future. While acknowledging where they stand today, they consistently act, speak, and think as if their desired outcome has already materialized. This isn't self-deception or fantasy. It's a profound psychological principle that aligns your entire being with your goals. When you genuinely act as if your dreams are already yours, you trigger what I call the success mechanism within your mind. Your subconscious begins working tirelessly to close the gap between your current circumstances and your desired reality. Consider how differently you'd approach each day if you already had achieved your goal. Your posture would change. Your voice would carry new confidence. Your decisions would reflect wisdom gained from success rather than fear of failure. These subtle shifts send powerful signals to yourself and others. Your mind cannot tell the difference between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. By consistently acting as if you're essentially rehearsing success until it becomes natural, the great industrialist Henry Ford understood this principle when he said, "Whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right. Your belief creates the conditions for its own fulfillment." I met a young man in Chicago who wanted to become a successful business owner. While still working his factory job, he began acting as if he already led a thriving company. He studied industry publications during lunch breaks. He practiced making important decisions. He even set aside a small desk at home where he worked on his business plan each evening. Within 14 months, his small side venture had grown enough for him to leave his job. 3 years later, his company employed 27 people. This principle works because it forces alignment between your conscious goals and subconscious patterns. Most people fail because they say they want success while subconsciously identifying as someone who doesn't deserve it. Acting as if bridges this gap. It reprograms your self-image until the successful version of yourself becomes who you naturally are. Start immediately with something small but meaningful. Dress slightly better than required for your position. Speak with the calm authority of someone who knows their value. Make decisions with the confidence of a person who trusts their judgment. These aren't superficial changes. They reshape how you perceive yourself and how the world responds to you. What you have in your life right now once existed only in your imagination. Your future achievements are no different. They await only your decision to claim them as already yours. The world makes way for those who act as if they belong where they're going. The path has been laid before you. The principles have been shared. Now the final step is yours alone to take. Act as if it's already yours, and watch as life transforms to match your vision.